Oh, baby. The Philadelphia Fusion are on a roll. They are able to take that match against the Florida Mayhem 4-0. And that is a clean 8-0 on the week. They are really starting off this stage with a bang. All right, so up next, we have the Houston Outlaws going against the Boston Uprising. These two teams recently faced off for a spot in the Stage 1 playoffs, but it was Houston who were able to edge out the Uprising in a close 5-match bout. I think it's safe to say that the Uprising are probably going to be out for revenge today. Hey, yo, Blizzard Arena, y'all ready for this one? I'm with them, so you know what? Let's go ahead and get this thing rolling.
And while this is looking like a fantastic turnaround here for Boston.
Good way to start this push here for Houston Outlaws.
Big kill and the follow-up pulse. Striker already styling.
Jake is just wrecking everybody at this point.
Casper is the first man on the trigger.
Houston has brought the defense.
Austin, it feels like they are very much in control of the situation.
But somehow, Houston are still finding kills. Oh, that was close.
Last time around, this one went to a game 5, but now we're in stage 2. It's a new meta and a brand new day. Welcome back to the desk. It's Puckett here with Bren. We got Crumbs, and Zoe is with us once again. Zoe, you just got a chance to talk with EQO. Pretty cool kid.
He is. He really is. Actually, prior to that interview, people warned me. Were like, hey, he's a really shy boy. And he was just talking and chattery even prior to the interview. That was a real pleasure, and I love the insight he gave us, too.
And if you guys missed it, of course, we just saw Philadelphia winning the first match of the day. But as always, we're going to have 3 for you here on Saturday. Philly gets the win, 4-0 over Florida. Now we have Boston versus Houston, and a little bit later, we see the Dragons matching up against the hometown crowd. Anyone excited for the Valiant? All right, there's a few people cheering. Let's get everybody cheering now as we welcome our first team to the stage for this matchup. It's the Boston Uprising. Boston, honestly, one of my favorite squads to watch in the Overwatch League. They started off slow in stage 1, but really started to generate some momentum at the end towards the playoffs. But coming into their first matchup, they dropped all 4 maps to Philadelphia.
They did. They had a few bright moments from individuals, but overall, the synergy, the coordination I praised about them like earlier in their match was nowhere to be seen. They were just they looked slow to adapt to this meta, honestly.
Well, they played against Philly, and we just saw what Philly did to the Mayhem. So I think I'm going to hold off on some judgment on this squad because I think that the Philadelphia squad was just on an absolute tear, that it's going to be very difficult to judge how the Boston Uprising were playing off of one game. Today, I think will be a better indication of what they've got to bring for stage 2.
I mean, personally, Crumbs, I'm going to be taking a look at Gamsu very closely alongside Kalios. The tank play is really where a lot of these games are now going to be decided. And if the tanks on the one side are going to be playing better than the Houston side, a tough ask, but definitely Gamsu and Kalios are more than capable of bringing it to.
Yeah, something to note here. Note is on the bench. Kalios back in. We've been watching these two off-tanks swap in and out. Will Note be seen? We'll find out in just a few moments. For now, though, we have to introduce the opposition for Boston on the right side of the stage. Give it up for the Houston Outlaws. Houston fell short in the stage 1 playoffs, but they got a big win over London. That one went 3-2 earlier in the week. What was the difference this time around?
They looked really, really comfortable, not just on the maps, but also on the on the meta right now. And Jake came prepared. His chunk rate has been a key factor for the Outlaws' success in stage 1. But in stage 2, he's now been shifting his focus and looked incredible, solid on his Tracer when he played that game against the London Spitfire. So, you know, he's just not a one-rat rodent.
And it's not just Jake as well that we need to look at. Linkser as well. This guy is absolutely incredible. I say it every single time he comes up on the screen, but for very good reason. And there he is, the man himself. And I gotta say as well, this meta game that we're seeing right now is the exact same way he flourished in Contenders Season 1. And honestly, I'm expecting him to go even further up.
There you go, Muma. We'll figure it out later.
So close.
Crumbs, what are you pumped about when you watch this team?
What they do on camera, of course. But what I like about this team is the fact that they pride themselves on work ethic, really. They just say, you know what, we're going to train harder than anybody else. It's a simple formula for them. They recognize their issues and they work hard towards it, and it seems like they are a team that go above and beyond what is asked for them, and I think that's what's given them these crazy results, and I expect this team to just be on a trajectory really high up in the standings.
Some of the best hair and best gameplay in the game right now. That is a look at the Houston Outlaws, and we have to talk big picture here. If London is better than New York, which we saw yesterday, and Houston is better than London, is Houston the team to beat in the league right now?
I think they are. I actually think that not only is Houston the team to beat, but by the end of stage 2, they will be definitely in playoffs, definitely in the finals, and maybe even winning the whole thing.
Bren, do you agree with my crazy logic?
I'm going to play devil's advocate here. I don't know if I quite agree with that logic that Houston are going to be the team to beat. Of course, I'm going to be bringing it. Don't you worry, Crumbs. It's all coming in time, lad. Don't try and pressure me.
He's got to set himself up.
I've got to set myself up. But Houston, yes, they're a good team, but are they capable of beating up some of these teams that we've seen on a numerous levels here, like London, like Seoul, you know, like New York as well, that have shown themselves to be consistently high level? Yes, I think Houston are capable, but are they going to have the synergy coming in later into the league? That's the real question mark for me. Are they going to get figured out?
The issue is synergy. Nobody even figured them out by stage 1. I think that this team has been recognizing where they were faltering before. Especially, I think what surprised me the most is that initially you thought it was, oh, only Junkrat, but now he's got the Genji, he's got the Tracer. They've definitely expanded their hero pool. We even saw them bring out Hanzo in King's Road to great success. I think this team actually understands the game to a point where it's giving people way more trouble than it should be, and that's why.
You also have to take into account that they are bringing in reinforcements also, so they are actively working on getting fanfiction into the lineup as well. That's going to make a big difference, and just the individual skill of those players and how well they work with each other. They have a lot of experience. And
let me front you a quick question here, Crumbs.
There we go.
Can Jake beat Fletter in a 1v1 scenario? Any scenario.
This game's not a 1v1.
Brent, I got a better question for you.
Come at me.
Can Jake beat Dreamcasper? Because that's the DPS he's going up against today. Or do you have to be more afraid of Striker from the Boston Uprising?
You're asking me this question?
Yeah.
I feel like you need to be scared of Striker here. And these Tracer 1v1s, I mean, we've seen it. The evidence is there. The Tracers now are having an absolute nightmare in this current metagame. If you get backed up by your team, Striker more than capable of bringing it to Jake in this matchup.
Yeah, but honestly, I would, in this scenario, I'm gonna give Jake the edge, because Jake is that one Tracer no one really has figured out yet. He doesn't have an exact style just yet, so no one really knows what Jake is gonna throw at them.
I think Striker would win that 1v1. We'll see if it plays out. Is Jake even running Tracer today? Let's find out right now as we send it backstage. Monty and Doa are on the mic.
Thank you, Puckett. Here we are, guys, ready to get things started between the Boston Uprising and the Houston Outlaws. This is going to be a really interesting matchup, right? Because Boston coming off of losing pretty hard to Philly, Houston coming off of a huge win against London. So Boston really looking to improve, Houston looking to stick with it. But it was only one match, right? It was only the first match of the new stage, the first match in the new meta. I feel like this match could really go either way yet.
Yeah, I think it can, especially because we saw something very different from Boston in their first match here in Stage 2. We thought this was a team that had been showing a lot of strength in the dive, and they came out with a lot of poke compositions. So Soldier Tracer or Widowmaker Tracer in their debut in Stage 2, which is not something that we've seen a ton of from them in the past, and they seem to really struggle against Philadelphia. Obviously, though, Philadelphia coming out very strong in our first week back.
I mean, I think the hallmark of Boston's play throughout Stage 1 was how they evolved as a team strategically, and if they can keep that kind of thing up, then that first loss that they had against Philly isn't going to matter much, because they're going to win a lot more. But they really kind of need to show some of that here against Houston, who is already looking like a top 4, top 3 team this stage, no doubt.
Yes, as people were very quick to remind me on Twitter yesterday, because it was I who said that they would be dipping in performance on watch points. So far, that hasn't been true. Honestly, Houston looked great against London. They've started to use clockwork a little bit more. We saw him play against London. We're going to see him here in the first map right now.
I mean, another day in the Overwatch League. The sun rises and Monty and Rage is Houston fans. So there you go. That's how it goes.
It's okay. I mean, they've been playing well, and I loved seeing a lot of their strategies, especially that Hanzo that we saw Linkser run on attack all the way through King's Row. Certainly a possibility to see yet again, as it will be our third map played in this set. So I'm excited to see what Houston are going to bring us. It will be Banny on the Ana, so Tracer Soldier on the defense.
Sure.
And Boston Uprising, we'll see what they end up with in the end. Dreamcasper, it's going to be important to see which hero he swaps to as to which tactic and approach they are going to take. Could be a Roadhog here, or could be a Genji. We'll take a Genji.
Here we go, guys. Boston Uprising on the attack here on Hanamura. Houston Outlaws defending. We'll see what sort of pace Boston can set, not just for this map, but for the match. Milling around the door for the moment. And Neko on that Moira. Interesting addition. They're going to go in a death ball, try to use that AoE healing. Getting in the back lines is Gamsu already a little bit. Has some support, but no! Goes down alongside a Dreamcasper almost immediately.
And that's the reason why you defended that location when you have the option.
Oh, Raucus!
Raucus gonna fall,
bit of trouble here.
Striker's gonna get pushed out, back off the point eventually here.
Oh, that's right, but you know, getting Raucus is pretty nice actually for Boston, because it does take a while for that Zenyatta to walk back there. So, you know, I guess Boston, they're still going to be without Striker, so maybe not able to capitalize on that one right now with the closer spawns, but you get that one a little bit later, it might work out.
It's interesting to me that Boston is sticking with this dive composition because you don't know the Ana's there, but when you try and dive into this back corner and the biotic grenade comes in, you need to eat it with the defensive matrix.
Now Kumat demeched already, Striker coming in, ooh, there's a pulse bomb, is it gonna work? No, it doesn't. Lynx are getting some kills instead, Kelix does fall, Striker scrambling to make a difference in this back line here. But it looks like Houston, unless Striker, can turn it around. Although Dreamcasper may take it on himself here. He does take out Coolmat. Linkser, though, has that nano boost now. Going back to defend at the point. It looks like they barely held on for the moment.
Linkser had the tactical visor in order to push back that attack and force everybody on Boston to run for cover within the buildings. Everyone from the side of the Outlaws should be rejoining momentarily. So Boston has not really found any purchase yet. Neko going to be over on the Zenyatta now, so looking to get some more range damage down, realizing they can't just death ball the back corner.
Yeah, and as the dive comes in, Dreamcasper causes a bit of a distraction on the point right now, gaining some control percent. Lost a bit of health, but he's got the Dragon Blade. Exits after getting the first tick. That is pretty big. Neko falls, and now here comes a raging Muma on that Winston. Dreamcasper trying to get out of it. Only 4 HP remaining, and he's going to get roasted. Meanwhile, Boston trying to find some sort of purchase on the point. They do get Bonnie, and Raucus gets booped off as well. Both supports down for Houston. Boston might be able to grind this one out. Oh, I don't know, though. Cool, man. Clockwork picking up a little bit more, and Muma still on the point. Spent some time in that biotic field, stayed more or less healthy, and it looks like they've survived for now.
Oh, man. Cool Matt finally gets D-Mech. They have to run in there. That was actually a good play by Gamsu. Gets the D-Mech down, even if it costs him his own life. That is a very good value trade, because Cool Matt has to throw himself off, or he has to go back into the base right now. He actually going to stick around and try and charge up that ultimate, get his mech back the hard way in the mini diva form, but Gamsu's going to be coming back with the rest of his team, and they've got no diva suit.
Yeah, sound barrier, as this is the time Boston wants to try to push this. Linkser pops that tactical visor, trying to find some people, but Boston doing a good job of staying hidden. Dreamcasper grabs a couple kills on the outside of that fight, and it looks like Boston may have this one. I think that's going to be point A.
It will be Doa, and that was, we're going to save the Transcendence too. So they come in with the sound barrier. That play, though, was really critical by Gamsu. That's just great shot calling, because he realized how low that Diva was. We're going to take another gander here at this Dragon Blade. Everybody just trapped in a corner.
Oh, this is the Boston that we know and love. Wow, trying to carry that momentum into point B already. They go in with the Transcendence from Kalios, it looks like, from Neko rather. Dreamcasper already picking one up. There's another one to finish Cool Matt off again. Muma very low himself on that Winston, and Linkser, Genji v Genji, gonna get taken out here. Primal Rage from Muma, but again, just not a lot of HP to work with. That's one tick already for the Boston Uprising, but maybe Raucus with that Transcendence can turn it around along with the respawns. See if maybe, the self-destruct coming in, forcing Boston back just a bit.
Cool, Matt. He's going to re-mech.
Well, they de-mech him almost immediately, though, so not a huge deal there as Boston not deterred on this point quite yet. Bonnie's scrambling a little bit, and it looks like now that Gamsu and Neko have gone down, they may have to back up and regroup here.
A very quick attack by the Boston Uprising. They'll take that one tick, though. That's not a bad result, considering how fast they were able to get to that next point. And they didn't have a huge ult advantage going in. So even getting that one tick, Kalios is not going to be desuited. So he's going to serve as an ult battery. Now, for the side of his healing supports, Kelix will get the sound barrier. as a result of that play. Rock is still working up to a Transcendence. Benny going to have to use this nano boost onto Muma. I'm going to try and go in with the sound barrier instantly.
Yeah, worked on point A. Let's see if it works here too. Raucus getting a little bit low. Striker trying to take him down. He's successful. Meanwhile, Dreamcasper again. Big Dragon Blade gets 2 kills with it. And now the Transcendence paving the way for Boston to try to steamroll the rest of this point. Bonnie between a Pulse Bomb and a Ninja Star place, and he will not survive. And that's going to be nearly it already. They just got to handle this last Coolmat and Raucus on the point. Oh, but there's a Transcendence. Houston Outlaws trying their best to just hang on. Here on point B, Banny back again, but everybody falling in that Lucio. Only so much you can do. Maze in play though, but it's not enough. That's going to be 2 points for Boston with about 2:35 left on the clock.
Very decisive attack, and Boston is returning to what they did so well last stage. Genji, Tracer, dive compositions, playing aggressively. They were stymied for a bit there on point A because they were trying to dive into the Ana grenade and got stuffed on a couple of those attacks. But beyond that, once the snowball got rolling onto point B, very difficult for the Outlaws to stop.
Well, it seems like it was really the combination of going in with the sound barrier and then having Dreamcasper come in from the flank with the Dragon Blade, and that won them the big fight on point A, and it kind of won them the fight that snowballed into a point B take as well.
Yeah, it did seem also Banny got a little bit stuck on the Ana in that second point, wanted to use the nano boost, but when the dive is that effective and the Ana has to be a little bit more out in the open right next to the point instead of further off the point where she can fire in more safely without being next to some of those DPS heroes coming out of Boston. But you want to save that nano boost, but at the same time, sometimes you have to just flip off very quickly and try and get some healing or get onto a hero that's a little bit more effective, covering the point with a big support ultimate
Very
instead.
true.
So,
all right, well, Boston Uprising on the defense now. Neko on that Moira for the moment. Don't know if that one's going to last or not.
oh, I think it is going to last. They want to bait them onto the point, looks like.
All right.
More so than anything else. I wasn't really impressed with Neko's Moira at the start of their attack last time, but you know, they're switching things up. This isn't what they played against Philadelphia Fusion when they played on Hanamura. It was basically just pure Tracer Soldier, pretty standard poke composition. Didn't really work out for them, and now they seem to be going back to something more comfortable and just trying some new strats out too with this Moira.
Sure enough, here we go. Houston Outlaws, their turn to attack here on Hanamura. Little speed boost from Banny, and he's going to swap back over to the Mercy, actually, as they move towards the point. And try to power up Linkser here on the Widowmaker, see if they can find some picks. Oh, under pressure from the Zenyatta, or from the Genji, rather, already. Meanwhile, Gamsu diving deep on the defense. Whoa, that's very bold for Boston. They are wasting no time. They got the D-Mech on Coolmat. They got a kill on Raucus as well. They lose Kalios' mech on the way out, though. Is it worth it? I don't know.
Oh, it's definitely not worth it to lose Kalios' mech right there, Noah.
That was a very bold attack.
Aggressively, because now there's this situation. Kalios has already been killed in that mini diva for Muma. Will fell, Dreamcasper. Clockwork gets all the way back onto the point.
Uh-oh, he's already there, man. They got to do something about this. He's going to go and recall right away, wait for the rest of his team to join, and Muma's right there with a stop onto Neko. That Coalescence is up, but he can't use it, and that is a resounding team fight win for the Houston Outlaws. This point should be theirs.
Very well played. Now, they're not coming up on any big support ultimates too soon, and Linkser, even though he's close to that Infrasight, not the most impactful ult that you can have. Obviously not going to snowball potentially as hard as a Dragon Blade.
Yeah, it might be difficult to carry this one through to a quick point B, but I'll give it a shot anyway. You might as well. Come back with more ults later if you play it conservative.
Side is going to be
Calyx.
Calyx gets stomped by Muma.
Whoa, and then there goes Gamsu. Links are going crazy here. Neko pops that Coalescence, manages to roast Raucus and Banny, kills both supports with his support ultimate. Houston not done quite yet, though. They're going to keep grinding this one out, but yeah, that's going to be the end of that push. But it's okay. They only use the Infrasight on that one. They're going to have their 2 support ultimates soon. And so if you're Houston Outlaws right now, I think you're feeling pretty good.
Yeah, that's one of those times where even though it was very effective for a point A take quickly using the picks from the Widowmaker, transitioning that into another fast point B take can be very difficult. Now Linkster's going to go for the Soldier 76. On Hanamura, you really need that power to team wipe because these point Bs, of course, the respawns are so close that unless you get a big win with a sort of point-clearing ultimate, it becomes difficult.
Oh, Lynx are cleared off the map by Kalios right off the bat. How much is Houston going to push this one? They actually used a couple ultimates there. Valkyrie.
And he needs to res Linkser.
Yeah, he gets him back up instead. Gamsu tries to stop it, but he gets taken out by Raucus. That is big. Houston Outlaws coming onto the point now. They got to avoid that self-destruct for the moment. Still have that Transcendence from Raucus to use. Dreamcasper has to take a bit of a break, has to run for cover here. Raucus up on this high ground now. Clockwork taken out by a headshot from Neko, though.
And they still are building that control percent, though, Don.
Oh,
Boston didn't have anybody on the point. Neko is trancing on the point by himself right now, while the rest of his allies head onto that high ground. So they stop the attack. One tick goes down.
Okay, that's something.
Transcendence, though, forced out of Neko, so you'll feel pretty good about that. If you're Houston, Bammy now wants to move over to the Ana instead.
Yeah, you know, losing Linkser early on in that last fight really kind of hurt Houston. They committed some ults early on. We're planning on kind of keeping him alive, setting him up for some big plays on the high ground like we see a lot from Soldier 76 on Hanamura Point B, but good pick from Boston. Not going to save the day. Now they're going to go in aggressive again. Oh, Sleep Dart on the Gamsu. That's going to lead to the kill from Coolmat. And Boston in a little bit of trouble here.
Yeah, Gamsu got anti-healed by the Biotic Grenade, so easy focus fire, good job target selecting for the Outlaws. Coolmat going to just push Dreamcasper back right now. Neko will be rezzed on the side right here, and Linkser can't do anything about it.
Yeah, that's right. Linkser trying to chase around the outside of the fight. He's got Muma in front with that Primal Rage, trying to get Benny, maybe get no Kellick's taken out actually. Oh, and Muma going wild. No pun intended, but that Primal Rage is doing work for Houston. 2 ticks already. Just a couple respawns remain. Dreamcasper with the solo Dragon Blade can't get anything done with that. And that may be point B. As Kellick's falls again, it will be. And Houston will finish with 3:50 on the clock. Great time for them.
Excellent poise by Raucus. He knew Dreamcasper was coming out with the Dragon Blade again, had saved that Transcendence, was standing on the high ground. As soon as he comes out of spawn, instantly knows that blade is going to be used, drops down, uses the speed boost from the Trance to get back, cover his teammates, and make sure that they're able to close the map.
Yeah. Well, Houston managing to put together some pretty strong attacks, but I think it was really the swap by Bonnie to Ana that really unlocked that for him, because you saw that deep dive come in from Gamsu, wasn't expecting the Biotic Grenade, the Sleep Dart there, and then with that man advantage, Houston able to roll the point.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that was a good adaptation because they noticed that Boston was committing to attacking that high ground with the dive, as you noticed. After a few times of it having been successful, the Houston Outlaws make that adjustment, punish them with the Biotic Grenade instead to pick off the tank and go into their attack with a big advantage.
Yeah, true enough. Muma always teasing us with that Symmetra.
He's just trying he's just trying to have the most Symmetra playtime in the league. He does come out for a second or two. He will walk out of spawn for a second or two with Symmetra and then run back in and switch back over to a tank.
He does sometimes. You know, on a Mer Point day, man, you can run that Symmetra on defense. You can do it, I'm telling you.
It's not going to happen, though. You can't make Symmetra happen.
It works in Platinum for me, all right? That's good enough for Overwatch League, right? Maybe not, maybe not. All right. Boston Uprising on the attack. They do have a little bit less time in the time bank, so they will attack first in these extra rounds here.
Making an adjustment, so they won't be running the Moira on the attack this time. Neko will be on the Zenyatta instead. Realized that they weren't going to be able to bull rush that corner with the Moira. And the healing with the Ana.
Whoa, Gamsu
gets cut down right as he walks in the door.
No kidding, walks right into the gauntlet and it's taken out nearly immediately here. Boston trying to sneak a little bit of control percentage here via Striker. They chase him off. Nice melee from Clockwork to finish that one. Time for Clockwork to make him clock out.
Yeah, he is clocked out of this life at the very least. Fortunately, he gets another shift in about 10 seconds.
That's right, doesn't take long.
So this time they're trying a different strategy. Boston is trying to wrap around with the Genji and the Tracer and follow up on a Discord Orb. So a more traditional style of dive. This time they're going to be trying for the high ground.
And here it comes.
Varying their approach.
Dive in, Bio Grenade at the feet for Bonnie to try to keep everybody alive. Gamsu falls again. Nice Sleep Dart onto Kalios as he comes in. Oh, but Coolmat maybe making a difference here. They use the Transcendence to push in, and I think that's going to be another defensive win there for Houston.
Yeah, that is good. And now Houston has realized what their tactics are. Notice how they're not playing this back corner any longer as much as they were before, and instead playing the point. And is trying to attack them when they're grouped up. Now Linkser going to be on the high ground overlooking the point because they've realized that they have to go onto it right now with such little time remaining.
It's true. Now Striker trying to be a bit annoying on the outside of the fight here. Clockwork 2 HP. Ooh, he got to that health pack just in time. And Linkser greets everybody with attack visor as they try to attack. The Transcendence comes in response, and Linkser with that nano boost on the run, getting in position to get a bit of damage done with that Ana ultimate. Sets up a bunch of kills for his team, actually. And Linkser's ability to stay alive on Soldier once again helps pave the way for a lot of damage and a resounding team fight win. That was a clean sweep. 6-0 on that one.
It was a clean sweep with attack visor.
Sure was.
In all senses of the definition, clearing out everybody on the point. It's going to be a desperation attack right now for the Boston Uprising. Dream Casper with the Dragon Blade. Can he clean up the Houston Outlaws?
He's got to, man. I mean, it's all on him. Kalios has that self-destruct. He's got to try to combo that. Oh, the stick on the Kalios. Gonna go ahead and use that Diva ultimate anyway, though. Drop down, Muma caught with the self-destruct. Coolman on the run, nearly demeched already. Gets back to the Transcendence from Zenyatta. That healing just in time. Turns it around right now. Gamsu pressuring, Fanny down. And the Dragon Blade, will it be the cleanup that Boston needs? They've got 2 ticks now. Just a bit more. Dreamcast no kills, but he managed to zone Houston off the point. They nearly got it.
Back on the Soldier. Doa looks like they're going to get it.
I think so. I think point A, yeah, going the way of Boston Uprising. It was close, but they pulled it off.
Wow. Just coming in. Great patience from Dream Casper. Holds the Dragon Blade just long enough to make it have value on the point, and it ensured that Raucus and Linkser couldn't contest. They had to fall back, had to just fire into the point where they could, because they weren't able to go into close range against the Blade.
Yeah, now 10 seconds left for Boston. They gotta get to point B. They are there trying to do something some work with it. Striker, Pulse Bomb, not accomplishing anything, and they can't get to the point. So Boston takes point A in time bank, but doesn't get anything on point B. Big opportunity for Houston there to capitalize, but hey, I mean, getting point A, that's nothing to be disappointed with on Hanamura.
No, not at all. And as we saw at the end of that fight, there was really no way for Boston to get back onto the point because Linkser had another tactical visor.
That's right. So let's take a second here to listen to the Houston comms at the end on point B there. See how these guys are talking to each other.
Fish are gonna break back here. I bubble you. Get you right side. He's close right. Make sure careful. Don't sit still. I'm passing. I'm nano. I'm checking point. Running the point. I got point. Lucio. I throw it back to me. See that? Nice. Good job.
All right, there you go. Proper communication. They knew they had an advantage to capitalize on, and they crushed it. I gotta say, like, Muma's playing posture, he just like hangs out. He's just like sitting back, relaxing. That is the most chilled pro player posture I think I've ever seen.
That's true. And for those of you who don't know the player voices, most of the comms were coming from Raucus there from the Houston Outlaws, showing he really is a core part of this team's shot calling and communication. So he had the high ground directing everybody when he had the Transcendence coming back down onto the point just to clean things up.
Yep, that's right. And here we go again. Houston on the attack, 3 minutes and 50 seconds to take point A and then get a little bit of percentage on point B to win this one. Boston, meanwhile, a full hold here could win them the map. Hanging on the side. They've got Neko back on the Moira again. And here we go. They're going to go deep one more time. That's that aggressive Boston defense. They lose Gamsu immediately. They get Raucus, though, in the process. Will that be enough to push Houston back, though? Doesn't look like it. Here come the Outlaws. Kalios and Neko both down. That Diva suit out of commission. And Coolmat trying to get some cleanup done here as they charge on to point A. This could be disaster for Boston.
I really am not a fan of this aggressive Moira dive defense that we see from Boston Uprising, because they go in and Neko has this issue where he either has to fade into the fight and have no escape mechanism, or the tanks get focused down immediately. With the Houston Outlaws are doing such a great job of calling targets, you're going to lose your front line before you can get in range to heal. Yeah. So it's just not working. Houston has stuffed it twice now.
Indeed, Gamsu ends up being the one who dies first in a lot of these fights, and you know, it's not necessarily his fault. As we see Linkser try to get a couple shots here, it's kind of the team plan. That's the engage they wanted to do, and it's not working well. Raucus gets a D-Mech onto Kalios, and Houston Again, jumping in, they're diving. There goes Kalios, Pilot Diva out of the commission. Dreamcasper pulls out the Dragon Blade, but he is contained. Linkser right there with the headshot. And Houston already getting close. They just need that first tick and they've got it. Houston Outlaws will take Hanamura.
Great attack from Houston, about as clean as it could be. Linkser hits the necessary headshots, doesn't matter that they don't have a DPS ult to snowball. They have the Valkyrie, they have the support ults to get the heals needed, and they take people down one by one. Houston doing a really nice job of focus firing one target at a time, and that was a big difference for them in that first map.
Yeah, I mean, that was a communication clinic from the Houston Outlaws on Hanamura, and Boston on the communication side, you kind of got to wonder what's going on over there. The dive looking a little bit rusty here. We'll see if they can patch it up as we go into map 2 after this break. Don't go anywhere, guys. This is the Overwatch League.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by Omen by HP, the official PC and display of the Overwatch League. Intel, the official computer processor of the Overwatch League. And by T-Mobile, America's best unlimited network.